Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's tutorial we're going to be making a simple calculator with C++. Now if you have been new to tutorials, you would know that a simple calculator is one of the first projects that you make, especially when you are, are learning C++ or Python. Now I wanted to make something more fun, something more interactive. So enough talking, let's get down to coding. Now once you this tutorial we're going to be using code blocks to code our project. Now you select new project, console application, next, and give your project a title. I'm going to call mine calc dot calc project. Now once you open the terminal, you would see this environment here. Now basic thing include iostream using namespace standard, and then the main function. Now we're going to start first by creating an addition function because it's just going to be a basic calculator. Addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. That's just the basic things we're going to be doing on this tutorial. So first of all, we'll create an addition function. Then we'll create a function to do the addition. Now we're going to make it float because we are not just going to be adding just integers. As you know, it's going to be different kinds of numbers, floats, points, numbers. So we're going to be using different kinds of numbers, from normal integers to numbers that has decimal points. So we create a float. Now we make our addition function to collect a number by when it's called. It should collect a number, and then we'll store that number as num. Then we'll make it collect another number. We'll make a variable called add num, and then we'll make the user input the add num. And then once we've done that, we're going to add the number that it was called when the function was declared plus the second number that was added inside. We're going to understand this as we go on later on. And then once we add it, we'll store that number as add num2 and then return add num2. That is, return the answer. So that is what is going there. Basically, you call the addition function. Once you call the addition function, then you we declared another variable called add num. We collect a number add num, and then add the two number and store it as another float variable called add num2 and return that addition and that number that was added. Now and subsequently you just copy the addition function and paste it because it's going to be the same thing for subtraction, for multiplication and division. All you need to do is change the name and change the symbols, and that's basically it. You do for subtraction, you do for multiplication, you do for division, and that's it. Now we're going to be creating here the calculating function. Now what this function is going to do is that first of all it's going to be a float because same thing, we can have various kinds of number. We can have an integer or a decimal. So we'll create the calculator function. The calculator function is not going to collect any variable because it's going to be added. Now we'll create a variable called float. Yeah, a variable called answer. Sorry, a float variable called answer. And then now next we'll declare another variable, but this time it's going to be a string variable. It's going to hold characters. Now after that would output we are done with our declarations, so would output this line here just to show that the calculator has started. Yes, so would output it, then would allow the user to input a value. Now that value is going to be stored in the variable that we created above called answer. and then we'll allow the user to input a string. Now this string is going to be the variable we created here above. This string is going to be either the plus string, minus string, division, or multiplication, because we are going to collect it as a string. Yes, so that is why we created it as a string. So then after that, we're going to create a while loop. Now a while loop, while true. Before we go further, we'll create the value which is going to hold the answer from each of our values. So we create a float again b. Now we'll say inside that while loop, while true, if a, that is the string that was passed above, after the first number was passed in, if it is equal to this plus string, then call the addition function and pass in the answer. So the first value the person fixed in was the first value he wanted to maybe, do to calculate. So that value, we pass it into the addition function. The addition function adds it and then gives an answer. Now else if it's if the person click the subtraction, we call the subtraction function and pass in the answer. Else if it is multiplication or division, we pass it in and then call it. Now else if it is equal, if it is the equal string that was passed in, we return the answer that has been calculated all through. So we return the answers and then it returns the answer. It outputs your answer is and return the answer. So that is what we're going to do. And then the last else if statement is going to be to clear. So the reason why I said this is because while I was doing this tutorial, I told you I wanted something more fun. I wanted something that, as you could do with your normal calculator, you could press the on and then it restarts and clear everything and you can still calculate again. And if you want to continue from a previous answer and continue doing some arithmetic with it, you could still continue. Now we'll make that answer equal to b, the b value. So whatsoever you pass will be equal to the b value. Remember, we created the b value above, and then collect another string, that is collect the new string. Maybe you did a and you wanted to add another, you did plus and you wanted to add another operator, maybe multiplication. So you wanted to do 1 plus, collect another string, 2 plus, collected another string, and that is how it's going to work. Now after this, we'll now go to our main function and then create another while loop and make a variable, string variable z, that is going to hold a string character. Now first of all, we'll just output this message, welcome to Captain V simple calculator. Create the slash n there is to go to a new line. Then we'll say press start, ms to start and cl to restart and to clear, and then we'll allow the value inputs the string. So if the person inputs the string s, then the calculator is going to start. If the person inputs the string cl, it's going to restart. Now we're going to say if that z that was imputed above is equal to the string s. Now we call that calculation function that is going to do all the calculation arithmetic that was there, and then after the person is done, it returns 0. Else we're going to say enter a valid command and then a new line and then end the line. Build it, remember to build it, and then run the program. Now a quick recap. First of all, from the start, we created our addition function that was going to that was going to collect a number when it was called, and then after it has collected that number, it's going to collect another number which the user is going to tell the user to input another number. The user is going to input, and then it's going to add the number that it was used when it was called, and then the number that was imputed, and return that answer. Same thing with subtraction, multiplication, and division. And then after that, we created our calculator function. Now once that calculator function is being called, it's going to first of all output um, that line there, and then it's going to collect a value. Now that value we stored it as a float answer up. Now after it collects that value, it's going to output the string, and after it output the string, it's going to say, okay, give me a number. When you give it the number, it's going to still wait for an operator to be given, which is stored at a, and you give it to the operator. Now once you give it to that operator, it now says while true. Now if that a, that string you passed in after you passed the variable, is equal to a, now once it's equal to a, we call that addition function with the first number you pass. So let's say once you do this, you pass 10. Yeah, you pass 10. And once you pass 10 as your first value, the string is the past addition string. You put the plus sign. Now it takes that first 10 and then call the addition function and pass that 10 inside the addition function. Now if we go up here, we see that that 10 that you passed was going to be stored as a float here as num, and then as it's called num, it will now request for another number inside this addition function, which will now put maybe another 10. It's now going to say, okay, now add that first add the second 10 plus the first 10 and return the answer of this as a float. Now when you return it, and it's going to display that answer. And if you should, now when you display that answer, it's going to come here and say that answer is equal to b. Now put another string, and if you put another string, maybe minus, it's going to go back the same thing and take that answer which is equal to b and pass it into the subtraction and return that value. Now once you press equal to, it's going to return your answer and then go. Now if you should press the CL, it's going to restart the calculator again, return that calculator, and it's like a function inside a function, you know. Yeah, now that is what it's basically do, and this is our main function, call it inside. So I hope you enjoyed this simple tutorial. Subsequently, we're going to be creating something more better. If you notice, we had to press enter we before we make any calculation. When we press the 10, we press enter, the plus, we press enter, and that's kind of a setback, and we're going to work to improve it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please, if you are new, please subscribe and like if you like the video, and watch out for more tutorials. Thank you.